what I noticed was that the racism became more okay. Like with SD in Sweden. I mean, the more immigrants you get, it's like it's more okay to be racist. So here we had Samis protesting, and what they said was that we were taking the jobs away from them. So they had reason to hate us, and they could say, this is what we said the whole time. We do it. This is what they did in the 70s. This is what they did. So this created two groups, and the one, I think they really wanted it to be, and also the media wanted it to be the Samis against the Swedes. But it became legit, definitely, to become racist. And also because all of a sudden, well, not all of a sudden, but the people, they had enough. I mean, this is not a long time ago, and I remember we that had enough, we really had enough. Now it's time for action. And when you do action, when you really do something, when you stand in the front, you say, you cannot touch me. You cannot touch me. I will not move. That's when it's okay to say, you fucking saw me. I knew this the whole time. So of course, this it made it legit, and with the way that we have with racism in Sweden as well. I wanted to say before, but I talk a lot, so I didn't. But this, when you start to collaborate with different groups, I wrote this. I was co-writer to this act that Dramaten and Fryshuset. One is a huge theater in Stockholm, and one is like a youth organization. We did this theater, this show called This Is Us. But we talked about these similar issues that immigrants and Samis have here in Sweden, that we need to collaborate against the politicians, because it's groups that has been lost and forgotten about, and that you just look over. So I noticed that if people want to say that racism doesn't exist in the north part of Sweden or against Samis, they can come and talk to me or to anyone that sits here, because we know it does exist, definitely. And Gallup it would go to history, because it was so, was such like a mark for what is going on in Sapmi. That was one place. And we have so many places up in now being used as just fucking food for the government. So, yeah.
Anyone else?
I can. Commenting this extraction of natural resources, and of course it's a big difference if you compare the Scandinavian country, including Russia, with US, Canada. In US, Canada, maybe not all the time, mostly, an exception is maybe Standing Rock, but usually they are around the table when they talk about natural resources, about benefit sharing and all that. But in the Nordic countries and Russia, there is some kind of a policy of mummification. It's okay if Samis are working with reindeer herding, hunting, but when you come to ownership of land, ownership of resources, then the discussion doesn't exist, and we have the same situation on the Russian side. So there is a difference, and there is an ongoing discussion between how to use the resources in the Arctic on the indigenous lands, and that's quite a tricky issue, less tricky in US and Canada and Greenland. But we have still this so-called, as I said, policy of mummification. The Samis are accepted if they are working with this traditional economy, but what is under the surface and water power and all that's not a matter for us. It is to the companies and to the states. But I think there is a discussion on the way about some kind of how to manage that. But we haven't come so far, and we have still quite an old type of legislation concerning minerals and mining in Sweden, and that's maybe the most advanced are on the Finnish side. But we need a change.
And we shouldn't also forget all the windmill parks that are created in the north, and that is a thing that I really don't understand, because we actually do have too much electricity in the north, and if you created windmill parks, you have to ship the power south, and then you lose a lot of power. So actually, windmill parks should be built up in the south of Sweden, but I don't think that will happen.